Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Pillars of Eternity 2. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we return to our friend over here with a bounty.
Ak, my little privateer. You have news for me?
I do. I dealt with the sea with the shark.
Perfecto. For once, our service ships may take to the waters without fear. Knowing that is almost priceless.
She strains her back to support a sack of coins and lays it on your feet. 3,500 copper. That's pretty good.
You've taken all the work from the louses of Queen's Birth, and I have nothing more to offer you, save this.
Hesitating, Aina sticks her hand out and tips her head to the side, wearing an awkward smile. She sticks... the handshake. Sure. It's been a pleasure working with you, Aina. And I guess that's that. Did we just complete all the bounties? I think we just completed all the bounties. I can't believe we just completed all the bounties. Well, we did. So let's look at more missions. So we have tasks. We have these ones, but they don't count. Higher ups. Speak with Brythe at Harbinger's dwelling. I should let Brythe know that the pilgrims are no longer a threat. Oh. Well, we did that, but why with her, though, I wonder. We need to go... Yeah, we need to go down there. Let's not... Did I leave without that? That's interesting. Without doing that. Yeah, we need to go back down south. Let's see. Well, we should... You know what we should do? Let's leave the island. We should leave the island first.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Why did you... Oh, yeah. Because if I talk... She only talks once, though. That's mean. Please let her talk forever. No, seriously though, we should get rid of all the fog of war and then go for the last few things that we're leaving behind, because basically everything we're leaving behind right now are really difficult battles, and I want to make sure we have all the things upgraded as much as possible, because we're gonna find a lot of stuff still left out there. I mean, there's not a whole lot of things still left to explore, but there are a few. Oh, the Unseen Temple of Revelation, that's the way back out from there. And let's go right here. Are we in fast mode? We are in fast mode now. Where am I? Oh, it stops. Yeah, it's important to keep track of where we are, because of the storms and all that sort of stuff. And looking around the map, you can zoom out and should zoom out a little bit. Wait, Cheetah Pack working with injury. What? Well, I guess it's my fault. Sorry, Cheetah Pack. You are currently a cannoneer. We have other people that can do that for the moment. Yeah, I should have there we go. Should have had him fixing things, because when he enters Nekataka, he gets fixed immediately. I say fixing things, I mean fixing himself. But it's gonna be fine. We have a lot of travel ahead of us. And, wait, what is the name of this? The Black Isles. Yeah. It looks like the logo of the Black Isle Studios. In, back in the turn of the century. Some medicine, that's always nice. Oh, we got some other stuff, a lot of stuff. It's been a long while since we interacted with these. The choppy sea seas stretch towards the horizon, and curls of dark blue capped with lines of foamy white. "Captain!" shouts Copperhead from the rigging. "There's something in the water to port." Off to the port side rail, you see a dark shadow rising from the depths. The water spills around a hump of thick, mottled skin. With a sound like a horn blown underwater, two powerful jets of spray erupt from the creature's back. Let's identify it. What would be good for identification here? History, maybe. It is... Oh, it's a survival check. Shorty frowns down at the water. Bowhead, maybe? Or a wall face? Whale, either way, she says. Thoughts, crew? Tongue sticking out across chapped lips, Beldul says, "That's a wall face, Captain. Best whale for hunting in the whole Deadfire." Rum Dum Rigere snorts. "More like a bowhead. You see that V-shaped spout? It's on account of it having two blowholes." Beldul scoffs. "That doesn't make it any worse hunting." "It does if it dives and sinks our skiff." Rum Dum Rigere's eyes roll. Eld Engrim steps back, appalled. "You'd kill one of Undra's harbingers and squander this blessing?" Sure. Let's grab spears and go for the hunt. Adair tugs at his beard, a sour look on his face, because they think this is animal cruelty, which it is, but it's not the first time. Come on, Adair. Did you see how many animals we have killed in this grand adventure that we're having across the Deadfire? Yeah, don't kill whales, but also don't kill all the other animals that I've been killing. Generally don't look at RPG characters as role models, because they do a lot of bad things. Anyway, Beldul whoops happily as Rum Dum Rigere snaps out a salute. The crew rush to lower the skiff. Their oars, or not with a H. H's are difficult for me, okay? Their oars churn the water. Harpoon in hand, Beldul leaps. Okay. Crew member with injury. Oh, come on. Beldul is injured. Or did he just become injured? Whatever. He leaps from the skiff using the downward momentum to drive the weapon into the beast's flesh. The creature thrashes its tail, slapping Beldul from its back and into the water. The line from the harpoon to the skiff goes taut as the whale drags the skiff along. Beldul was injured. Maybe that's why. If the whale dives, they're in trouble. That is a good call. Let's go. Rum Dum Rigere swears but cuts the harpoon line, and we lose morale. With a final blast from its blowholes, the beast slips beneath the water, leaving you on the churning sea. And we got a little bit of experience, but that's hardly relevant. We got a bunch of injured crew. How lucky am I? So we got a boatswain that's out. We have somebody who can do that. And we have... Who else? Who else is injured? I think it's fine, because they're injured, but they're in the medicine cabinet. Eating the medicine. Okay, we do need to bring somebody down, because everybody's very upset. And morale is not that great. This is the best shanty. I like this one the best. Unfortunately, I talk over it. It's fine though. You can, as I talked about the shanties before. We don't get them very often, just because the did I hear ting ting? What is that sound? Is it because there's a ship ahoy? Annas of the many eyes. Let's go this way. I'm not really sure why it made that sound. Can't zoom out anymore. And this is the edge? Oh. I severely misjudged where we were. And let's just cut north from here. See if we find anything, and then we come back for the last little bit. You hear a knock at the door of your quarters. You're not long at sea when Vector appears at your door, wiping away sweat with a rag. "Begging your pardon, Captain. We've been at sea a while now, but you've not been in a state fit for speaking for most of it." "Are you saying I've got something to worry about?" "No, Captain. It's just tradition and the sociable thing to do." Vector chuckles. "Let's gather and address the crew." I think I misread. I think I misread what... Either I misread or I just didn't understand what he meant by the first line, because he just wants me to talk to the crew. Vector calls the crew together on deck. The small group of sailors hangs languidly from the rigging, perched on crates and sitting against the rails. Their eyes turn to you as you stride onto the deck. One thing in particular that, by the way, sorry to cut this off, one thing I have learned recently about pronouns in English is that the words all, for example, or something, those are pronouns. Those don't work as pronouns in Portuguese, for example. The word that we have for all is always like it's always as it's closer to the words the whole. Like, for example, say the whole ship, and so the whole doesn't assume the role of a pronoun, even though in English it can actually assume. But anyway, in Portuguese, all and the whole is never a pronoun. So in English, it works even better than it does in Portuguese. In Portuguese, it works the same. A group would still be singular. You wouldn't say hang, because that's the plural thing of the verb. You'd say hangs in Portuguese. But the thing is, in Portuguese, it can be a little bit confusing for me because, and I don't think it is for me. But all being a pronoun solves all the things. And here, the small group doesn't work as a pronoun, but it's still, because it's obviously a singular thing. It's a group, but it's a common mistake. I don't often see it in this game, but I see it a lot in Sunless Seas, and I'm not really sure why. Because I'm not really sure why. I need to finish those games, but well, I need to finish Sunless Sea so I can have a chat with over email or something with the writer, see if I can glean some info from there, see what I'm missing there or something. But anyway, it's kind of funny because the English language works differently in regards to pronouns. Or a pronoun is just a noun, really. It's just it stands for. It works exactly like a noun, but it stands for a noun. That's why it's pronoun, because that's what it means. Their eyes turn to you as you stride onto the deck. So, ahoy, mateys! I take what I want when I want. No, I'm not gonna say that. Now this is a crew. Can you believe that statue in my room said you were all nothing to look at? The gathered sailors chuckle, and Eld Engrim's laughter collapses into an involuntary snort. The captain isn't talking about you, Eld Engrim, Oswald calls, inspiring a second round of amusement. Ah, a good round of amusement. Adair approves. Maya, I think, approves as well. Takeo and Shodi, both, all of them. Nice. Morale has been gained. Let's see. I think this is happening because we are not at full morale. Normally this would happen more often, is what I take. Because it looks like every one of these options for us to get a morale thing. Let's see, I will not suffer insubordination. This ship isn't boards and sails, it's all of you. I'll give you everything I've got as captain. I expect the same from you. Eh, sounds about right. Who here likes money? I got plenty of it. I know, although I don't give them all that often, I don't give them money all that often. Yeah, let's go with this one. This ship isn't boards and sails. It's all of you. I'll give you everything I've got as captain. Accept the same from you. And 2 morales from there. Aye, Captain. Oswald cheers. Sparking chuckles. Vector claps, and the rest of the crew joins in, smiling and nodding. Yeah, again. The rest joins. That's a pronoun as well, even though it's weird. To me, it's weird anyway. Copperhead steps forward. Pardon me asking, Captain, but what exactly is the ship's mission in the Deadfire? That oversized naked statue took a piece of my soul. I aim to take it back. Adair steps forward and looks over the crew. That's not all he's taken, and if he hasn't taken from you and yours yet, don't be so sure that he won't. We're all in this. Oh, 3 morale gained. Nice. Muttering spreads across the crew as they look to one another in disbelief. Eld Engrim performs a gesture of reverence to the gods. Our captain's touched by the gods. Oswald nods, expression pensive. The crew splits up, returning to their duties as the ship, your ship, sails on, slicing through the bright blue quarters of the Deadfire. And there it is. Yeah, that one must have been written by a different person and just not, I don't know. I pick on things. I don't expect every editor in the world to pick on things like I do. Certainly, hopefully not, because otherwise they would do a terrible job of it. Captain, a moment! You hear the voice of Vector raised in question, and then an insistent knock at your cabin. Vector pokes their head into your quarters and frowns. We found a man drifting on a piece of flotsam. The deck hands try to talk to him, but he's speaking in a tongue none of us have ever heard before. Should we bring him on board or see if we can get a few words of sense out of him? Or would you rather we leave him to his fate? Nope, bring him aboard. I'll meet him on the deck. Vector nods, acknowledging your order, and hurries out the door. You gather your equipment and head out onto the main deck. I wonder who this is. Huh. You find a young man waiting for you on the deck. He wears heavy clothing of a kind you've never seen, the colors of his tabard bold and bright. He stands but barely, sodden, sun-scorched and battered. He can hardly keep his feet. He stumbles forward a bit, then rights himself. He looks at you warily, bleary-eyed, exhaustion heavy on his shoulders. Are you all right?
Love Kunimaki.
I wouldn't be able to know what that is. Although Finnish comes to mind, but mostly because it's lap at the beginning. He also said Kunimakie. That sounds Finnish to me. Although I don't think Finnish has those little apostrophes. I don't remember seeing them in any of the Nightwish lyrics that I've seen. That's all my Finnish. That's Nightwish lyrics. That's all. He coughs out the last word, and then buckles over and vomits a tremendous amount of seawater onto the deck.
Was I supposed to understand any of that? Either the words or the vomiting?
La pilikiko? Lakaris? Kezilas tahun?
He knits his eyebrows. Of course, it's not real Finnish, by the way. Just to... It might be inspired. He knits his eyebrows. His words are unfamiliar to you. Their sound low and hard-edged, but his tone is soft with confusion. Yeah, he's got a very... It's got a very hard accent for what I think Finnish is like, although Finland is pretty big and there's multiple accents and you can probably say it in multiple different ways. Apparently it's Ingwithan, and I know Ingwithan because we acquired that power. We're also from the White Dead Wens. Or Joma? The language of the Glanfellan has diverged greatly from the original tongue of their ancestors who originally settled the White Dead Wens, though it may share common roots with Adiran or, so Adiran. Oh, it could be Adiran as well. I forget. So this would be Ingwithan. Okay, so I don't think this is Adiran. Though it may share common roots with Adiran, or Joma is incomprehensible to those who haven't studied it. Yeah, that's how it often is. So okay, so this would be, do you speak Ingwithan? It says over there, but that would mean that he is not. That DH is... Yeah, we probably would be able to identify Ingwithan if we saw it, because we have a lot of Ingwithan words in this setting. Let's say this one. He presses his palms to his eyes and takes a deep, shaking breath. His shoulders slump. I'm gonna point to myself and say my name.
Keketsegu kisa reka. Reka, ta?
I love it, but also I don't understand anything. His eyes light up with the first expression of happiness you've seen from him. As he pronounces his name for you, he taps the center of his forehead. Reka. And... Oh. I'm supposed to... Right. We're supposed to know that it's written like this. But I'm also supposed to remember as a player that this doesn't read Reki. It reads Reka. Because even the R is different. Because you can't say Reka. Because that's not, that's not his name. For all I know, in his language, R and R are two different words, two different sounds. Or they're obviously two different sounds, but I mean it's two different letters or two different, they're not like in English where you can say whatever. Because, that happens with my own language, for example. The distinction between O and U. Yeah, you could say that. The distinction between O and U in English doesn't exist in Portuguese for the most part. Or rather, the sounds that, or how we read it. That's what I mean. Like O U and O O. That's the same sound in Portuguese. It's not the same letters, but it's the same sound. So this is sort of the opposite, isn't it? It's the different letter. No, it's nah. Anyway, what I mean is Reka is his name. I got it. Your name's Reka.
Ta.
And Ta means yes, obviously. He pumps his fist a bit, pleased to have finally managed to communicate with you. Relief brings a bright blush to his pale cheeks. He turns away then, casting his gaze over the rough sea. What he's thinking is unclear, but you can guess by the vein pulsing hard in his neck and the tight fists at his side that he seems to be coming to a decision.
Ke lak teka tu teta teghun. Te eki wa ke kek te taye te tataki mashan. Ke lash tatya tajlo.
Okay, this sounds like Native American. Which language? I don't know. But speaking of Nightwish, there is one amazing song from Nightwish called "The Trail of Tears," or "Trail of Tears," right, not "Trial of Tears." The Trail of Tears. I think it is called The Trail of Tears. I think it is about specifically the Trail of Tears. And I never read about it. But I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure right at the beginning of that particular song, and if you look it up, it's amazing. You should look it up. But it's okay if you don't. Right at the beginning of that particular song, there's a recitation. I think I looked it up what that recitation means. There's a recitation in a Native American language about the genocide, basically, and what happened at the Trail of Tears and whatnot. And that's where I know the accent from. It is very specifically the tekatu, tekahun, and all of that sounds very like that. Which would be more in theme maybe with the Deadfire than necessarily Finnish. As soon as the words leave his mouth, he grimaces, knowing that you can't understand him. Yeah, there's no way to know, is there? I bet the writers knew for a fact, or rather, I bet the writers made a language for this. Because it's probably not very difficult if he doesn't have many lines. We got Keked Seguki Zika Reke. Oh, sorry. Reka. I, maybe? Tekiwa Kekek. Yeah. I. Ke is I. Kek, I don't know what it is.
Ke lash tatya tajlo?
Tatyatajlo. Are you sure it's Tatyataj? The voice actor might have received a different this with a J instead of a Y. And anyway, he repeats this last sentence. It is, isn't it? Yeah. Kelash tataj tatatailu. Or what he said. This time gesturing to the length of your ship. To you, to your crew, and lastly to himself. It would seem he wishes to travel with you. Welcome aboard, Reka.
Ta. Yuki. Ketagi. Lashta-sama.
Yep, Ke. Appearing a lot at the beginning. It isn't necessarily I. Also because many reasons why it wouldn't be I. I'm thinking, for example, Arabic. That actually, yeah. Am I wrong on this? No, I don't know. I think Arabic always tends to start with a certain. I don't know Arabic, but it tends to start with a certain conjugation. It's very because Arabic is written in Arabic, so it has a specific shape, and if you, it's very easy to spot it that particular thing going over and over again. And it doesn't mean it's not I or anything. It's like it required for grammatical, conjugation and stuff, and also because the structure of I at the beginning is not universal, or the structure of the noun at the beginning is not universal. There's languages that do it the other way around. Japanese, for example, does it the other way around. Well, not always, though. It depends. Anyway, though he doesn't understand your words, he grasps well enough to your meaning. Reka gives you a small smile and quick nod of his head in acknowledgement, or perhaps in thanks. And he's a fighter, or a fighter barbarian, or a fighter monk. Do I have a fighter? I think I do. Oh, now I want him in my team. Oh, dang it. Seriously. I didn't know there were more characters. Let's go with the fighter monk. Let's see what a monk here has to do. Because we don't have a monk, so I suppose that's good enough. And that is the last one. Recruiter, I suppose that's because we got everybody. Can I talk to him? I need to exit and enter again? Curious. And then I click there again. Anyway, we're out of time for the day, so we're going to talk to him in the next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Pillars of Eternity 2. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.